everybody. This is just gonna be a short video. It's just gonna be about how I make some extra money. I donate plasma, and the closest place from here is like an hour or two away in Charlotte, called CSL Plasma. Everybody there's super nice and awesome, and basically what I do is I go there and I donate plasma. And what they do is they take the plasma. I don't remember what the machine's called, but basically they take your blood. It goes through a filter, and it separates the red blood cells from the plasma, which is like the liquidy part. It's what makes your blood liquid. And then they take the red blood cells and they put it back in you. And they use the plasma for like certain types of like medicines and drugs and stuff like that. And they have like a lot of rules on like you can't donate if your blood pressure's too high, you can't donate if your pulse is too high, you can't donate if you've ever gone to a certain area of the world. Stuff like that. I don't know exactly. You can look it up. I'll put a link to CSL's website down below. But basically, the first 5, and this isn't with every plasma place. This is just with mine. For the first 5 at my place, they pay you $50 per donation because you're new. You have to go through this whole process and answer all these questions, and you have to like get registered, I guess, and then they do a physical, and then they take your vitals, and then they ask you a bunch of questions, and then you have to fill out a bunch of questions, and you have to read this huge, enormous book that tells you what it is and what they do and all that other stuff. And so, basically, they pay you $50 for the first 5 at my place. And then after the first 5, or maybe it's 6, I don't remember off the top of my head. And then after the first 5 or 6, they pay you $25 the first time, and then depending on your weight, it could be anywhere between $30 and $55 the second time. But you have to go twice a week to get that second amount. If you only go once a week, you only get $25 a week, and that's like basically nothing. So what I do is I go on for Fridays and Sundays, because you have to have at least one day in between for the plasma to regenerate, and it takes about a day to do that, so you need a day in between. They won't let you go 2 days in a row. So what happens when you go in, at my place they have this little kiosk, you go into the kiosk, you answer all the health questions, and then you review your answers, and then you hit set, you hit enter, and then you put in your date of birth, you scan your thumbprint, and then you go into a line to get your vitals taken, and if your vitals are good, then you go into another line, and in that line you're waiting to go donate. And then what they do is they sit you down in the bed, they get the last 4 of your social, they do that, and then they scan all these things, and then they put the needle in you. You can kind of see, like, right there is where they stick me every time. And then they stick you go through the thing, the machine does everything for you. The machine does its thing. It runs through the cycles. It'll go through a cycle of taking the blood, separating the plasma, and while it's doing that, you're doing this over and over and over and over again. And then, after about 15 minutes or so of it taking the blood and separating the plasma and everything, it switches and it goes in a different way, and it goes back through the tube and back into your arm, and it's putting the red blood cells back so that you don't pass out. And then once all the red blood cells are back, it switches again, and you do this again, because while it's putting it back, you're not doing anything, you're just relaxing, and then you do this again, and then you just keep doing that over and over and over and over and over and over again until your entire bottle's filled, which is like that big. It's huge. It's about the size of a Lysol wipes bottle, about. Maybe a little shorter and wider. But it's about that size, and then until once that's filled up, it switches and it returns your blood cells, and then it switches on the saline, which fucking makes you freezing. And then once the saline's all through and turns like bright ass pink, they come over and they take the needle out and they wrap you up, and then they ask for your last four again, they put it in and they pay you out. And it goes onto this little card. And I'm not going to show you the numbers on the card, but I'll cover that up. But this is what my card looks like. And it's cute because it's a little lifesaver. You'll see. That's what mine looks like anyway. On the back, it has a number that you can call to check your balance and all that. You can go online and do it, but I find that a little more confusing. And then you can just walk out, just like that. Before you go, what you should do is you shouldn't eat ham, because I found ham is terrible. Ham is the devil. Cheese is bad. Anything dairy is bad. Eggs are good. Eggs are real good. Water with lemon. Water with lemon's real good because lemon cuts through fat. You can't have a whole lot of fat in it or it clogs up. There's a whole list. There's a whole list of foods that you could eat beforehand. You want like lean meats, and the night before is super important. The night before, in the morning before, you have to eat like super healthy, like nothing fatty, nothing with cheese or anything in it. So yeah, basically like they recommend not to drink caffeine beforehand, but it really doesn't do a whole lot. Like my first time donating, I drank soda. I drank Coke and I had a little bit of water beforehand. Like right before I went. That was fine. But make sure you don't eat anything fatty the night before, the morning before, or like right before, because if blood's in your system, they can't get the red blood cells back to you, because it's clogged up in the tube, so they can't get the red blood cells back in you, so then you're fucked. You basically just lost like whole blood. And that wasn't the goal. If it happens like 1 or 2 times, they'll still pay you out. But if it's like a reoccurring thing, they're gonna defer you, and you don't want that, or you're not gonna. Cause if they defer you, you're not gonna get any money, because they're not gonna let you donate. So it usually takes around 45 minutes to an hour. I usually take about an hour and 20 minutes. An hour, 20, hour, 30. Just because I'm a really slow donor. I don't know why. I just am. I could eat a salad with vinegar and drink lemon water for weeks beforehand, and I'd still be a slow donor. I just my blood comes out real slow. So yeah, that's the basics. My nose is just so bad. What the hell? That's the basics of donating plasma. Find a place that's close by. And make sure if you're a new donor, you have somebody driving you to and from, because you don't know how it's going to affect you. That's it for this video. If you have any questions, feel free to comment and ask about it. I would be happy to answer them for you. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up, and subscribe, because that'll tell me that you want to see more of these videos, and I will do more of these videos if you want to see them. If you don't want to see them, I won't do them. Like, comment, subscribe. I know I just said that. You guys have a good night. Love you. Bye.